The Aquarius full moon is a powerful full moon and it happens on the 1st of August. This will be the introduction. Down below, I'll have timestamps for each of the signs, as well as if you'd like to book a reading for the Aquarius full moon, you're most welcome to do so. There'll be a link for that. And do comment how you're feeling about this full moon and how are you working with this energy. Now, the Aquarius full moon is powerful. It's a super full moon. It's the first super full moon for the month of August, and then we're going to have a second one at the 30th of August as well, and that will also be a super full moon as well as a blue moon. So this is a powerful month of, just by being a super full moon, meaning it's closer to the earth, the energy is amplified. How we are feeling is amplified. Our emotional body is more aware. During this full moon, please drink water, take care of yourself mentally, emotionally, and physically. Rest if you need to rest. Full moons are intense energy, they amplify the energy, and this full moon will be amplifying how we are feeling. Like we generally have full moons. This is just making this whole feeling much more intense. Now, the full moon is happening in the sign of Aquarius and it will be opposite the sun, which is in the sign of Leo. So we naturally have this opposition that's happening. Aquarius rules how we think, our vision and dreams that we wish for the future. And also Aquarius is where we rebel. In the sense of rebelling, where we no longer want to do something, we no longer feel, especially collectively, like within a group, it's like, I don't know, I want to be unique, I want to be different, I want to step aside. Aquarius is also the energy where we deal with our differences, where we feel different within a group, where we don't resonate with the group that we are in. So this is a time where you'll be looking at the people that you are closely associated to and asking yourself, how do you fit into these connections? Have you outgrown these connections? Do you need to move away, take a break, step out of this old energy and step into a more authentic version of yourself? And this will be in alignment to your future vision and dreams that you have for yourself. Like I said, it is a super full moon. It's closer to the earth. Our emotions are heightened. We are amplified as a whole. Now, Venus is retrograde during this full moon. And the fixed signs are all like highly filled up with a lot of energy and be releasing and making a lot of changes within their lives, as well as the mutable signs. The fixed signs are Leo, Scorpio, Taurus, and Aquarius, and the mutable signs are Virgo, Pisces, Gemini, and Sagittarius. So we are all in this energy of going through a major transformation, and the mutable signs are involved due to Mercury in Virgo being in opposition to Saturn in Pisces retrograde, where we can suffer from mentally feeling exhausted, mentally negatively thinking, feeling stuck, dealing with rejection, dealing with no's. And this is where we have to bring it back to ourselves and how we accept and love and nurture ourselves and the vision that we have for ourselves. When things are feeling too hard, and this will be a time where you can easily slip into depression, especially because of Mercury in Virgo in opposition to Saturn in Pisces retrograde. This is where we can think of negative things. You must understand, Virgo is the energy of being critical. We can become very self-critical. We can be very critical of our circumstances. Just where our mind is stuck on a problem. Yes, Mercury in Virgo is very good for solving problems, but it can be very much in that perfection energy, which makes it hard to solve anything, especially with the opposition to Saturn. Saturn's a no. Do you still want to be committed? And that's what this full moon asks us. What do we want to be committed to? What is our vision for the future? What do we want for ourselves? Because Saturn rules commitments, long haul responsibilities. And this is where we are realizing certain responsibilities that we feel, okay, maybe I don't want to be responsible for certain things in my life that are kind of draining me or taking away from my power. And this can be people, situations. It'll definitely be dealing a lot with people because we are in a Venus retrograde. And Aquarius deals with the collective energy of all of us around us. You get my point? Where we are really sifting through and saying no to what no longer serves us, but it will be challenging because Aquarius is where we are in our energy, all of us uniquely and different. And it's about feeling that you're not fitting in with a group or a person anymore, and you're now wanting to release and let go. So that's the energy of this full moon. It's pretty much about releasing. It's about healing. It's about looking about you as an individual within the group of people or person that you're around, and you're asking yourself, how do I continue? How do I fit in with my differences? Maybe I'm different and I want different things from the other person. What do we want? We can feel after this full moon like we can have those full moon effects of like headaches, tiredness, lack of sleep, exhaustion, just physically, mentally, and emotionally. And like I said, with the Mercury in Virgo opposite Saturn in Pisces retrograde, we are mentally fatigued. Okay. We do have the full moon in Aquarius in square to Jupiter and Taurus, as well as the sun will also be in that square. Squares are places of tension, conflict, and it's almost like, especially with Jupiter in Taurus, we are looking at ways in which we can move forward, and Jupiter offers us opportunities, luck, and expansion and growth. And this is where we can really feel like, I can't do this anymore, and it's and I completely am done. And it's in a big way. That's the thing. I think this full moon, the energies of it feel big. It feels transformative. Jupiter is that beautiful aspect of where we even gain wisdom through our experiences. And looking at that square, which is always a hard aspect, but Jupiter is obviously giving us wisdom, that luck and opportunity. It's where we are releasing emotions within ourselves, especially about how we are different, how we accept ourselves, and moving forward in a bigger picture, looking at the bigger picture, thinking of the bigger picture of your life, especially with Aquarius energy, which is very much focusing on the future. We do have Uranus in Taurus, and we have to look at Uranus in Taurus because of Aquarius being ruled by Uranus. And this is where things, with Uranus disrupts the energy. So all of a sudden something happens that disrupts the energy, and now you're forced to kind of, with this new information, with things coming to light, make changes to your life, but you're very much in the sense of what is important to me and can I move forward into the future. And we also, like I said, spoke about Saturn, our commitments, our responsibilities, and looking at, sometimes we might have a routine that we committed to, but this routine is not working for me. Or maybe I have been keeping a routine where I'm up all night, but it's not working for me and I'm mentally fatigued. Anything that you're doing and committing yourself to can even be in a negative way, right? It's no longer serving you. And this is where we are definitely ending cycles with this full moon, and not just in this full moon and this energy. In the month of August, we are throughout the month of August in a Venus retrograde. Mercury goes retrograde on the 23rd of August. Uranus goes retrograde on the 29th, 28th of August. So we are slowing down. We are focusing on our healing, our transformation. We are purging out of our lives. 2 super full moons, amplifying the energy. We are purging, releasing physically, mentally, emotionally in the biggest way. Jupiter is what is giving us the opportunities. It's almost like through choosing and embracing and accepting myself, my differences, and maybe releasing connections that are not accepting me and I feel rejected, that I truly can connect to people that are better suited for me. And that's what this full moon is about. Aries, this is a powerful full moon for you. It's where your emotions are awakened. It's where you're feeling and connecting in a deeper way to yourself and realizing that there are certain connections, friends, groups, associations, people that you surround yourself with that you no longer want to be surrounded to. And this is where you are releasing that. And this is for your own good, where you're looking at your future vision and dream that you have for yourself. You do have the sun in the 5th and Venus retrograde there as well. So this brings up your creative pursuits. So if you happen to collaborate with anyone and complete a project around now, it would be good. But ultimately, it's where you are saying goodbye to cycles of connecting to certain individuals that you no longer wish to connect to. You're moving on in a different way and you're focusing on your future vision and dreams for self. Taurus, this full moon is powerful for you, right? Jupiter is in the sign of Taurus, and we do have Uranus in Taurus. So there's a lot of energy within self where you're opening yourself up to new opportunities and you're shifting and changing. Uranus is that energy that's changing you and working through that energy. Now, this full moon is powerful for you because if you've been working on anything, projects, career, your sense of purpose and goals, you can complete that at this time. It would be a great time to complete that. You're also looking at your home life, and you might be realizing where you want to live, what you want with your family members. And this impacts your career where you're thinking about changes you need to make. So it's a great time if you've been working on anything where career-wise, goal-wise, vocation-wise, sense of purpose, you can complete that, right? And you actually reap the rewards if you've been working on it and giving your energy towards it. However, if you're unhappy, as this full moon will show you what changes you need to make. Sometimes you might even say, I want to make certain changes within my work life. Maybe I don't want to be responsible for this anymore, and this will free up my time, and that way I can better improve my work life. Or if you want to change jobs, you want to change your career path this full moon, or change your goals, the goals that you personally have for yourself. Like, oh, maybe I'm going down this path and it's taking me there, but I want to shift my goals. I maybe want to try something, learn something different that shifts my goals in the direction that truly will fulfill me and make me feel like I'm living my sense of purpose. Gemini, you are communicating a lot, right? You are sending out messages, you are learning new things, especially throughout this month until like the 23rd of August. But this full moon on the 1st of August is about your higher self and how you can expand within your life. How can you grow? If you've written any exams, this is where maybe you've written an exam and you might find a year that you've gotten accepted to an academy or so forth. This is a time where you can complete anything that you have been learning, right? Higher education, higher pursuits. Great for completion of anything that you've been learning. Great for either thinking about planning a trip, or even if you've come back from a trip, this is really good for that. And you're also reassessing your belief systems, right? What's important to you, your perspective. It's where you are letting go of old, outdated perspectives and you're opening yourself up to new perspectives. And through this perspective change, you're expanding yourself. So you might even read a book that all of a sudden, or get a positive quote that gives you a new belief about yourself and how you want to expand and grow at this time. Cancer, hopefully you have been watching over your finances, not overspending, because Venus is retrograde and it can really be messing with your financial pursuits and your income and the money that you have within your pocket. This full moon, all of a sudden, reality check, and you want to budget. You want to look at your finances more properly. You might even, if you're living with someone or have a partner, you might partner up and like, let's look at our finances. Let's re-budget, re-look at things. You're also doing deep shadow work with this full moon, meaning secrets about yourself, things that maybe you didn't know about yourself can come to light that you need to release and be more vulnerable and share that with someone you trust. Or secrets from someone else might come to light during this time. But you're creating also healthy boundaries within your life. This is about boundaries that you have, not only with your finances, but boundaries that you have when it comes to people around you. Because people are also where you invest in your energy, and you might decide to set healthy boundaries within your life in order to detach from unhealthy associations. Leo, this is a powerful super full moon and it's happening opposite you. And Venus is retrograde in your sign. The sun is in your sign of Leo. So you are going through a shift in identity about self, about what you want, your values. You're really rethinking things. Yes, exes can come back and you might be thinking about an ex or reconnect with an ex, but you are still going through this energy of a shift of your values. Now, this full moon is happening opposite you, and it's a powerful super full moon. So if you're in a relationship and it's no longer working, a breakup can happen. And it doesn't only have to be like love. It can be a friend. It can be anyone that's opposite you. Friendships, partnerships, both personally and professionally. You can bring an end to those situations, close a chapter and move forward in a new profound way. And if you're having any relationship conflicts, this is a time that a relationship is asked to evolve to a certain level. So you could have a conflict too. And if both of you are willing to work on it, it can evolve. But you're definitely evolving with this Venus retrograde, especially, and the Sun. This full moon is really asking you, reassess your partnerships. What partnerships do you want to be associated to? What do you no longer want to be associated to anymore when it comes to your one-on-one connections with others? This is a completion phase for you with your associations, professionally and personally. Virgo, the Sun and also Venus is retrograde, and you would be feeling pretty exhausted with this full moon, right? Like you just don't have the energy. You might be feeling like, I just feel zapped. There's a lot of things I'm doing. I'm pretty busy, but I'm exhausted and fatigued. And because of the Sun and Venus, you are putting an end to old cycles, patterns. This is where you're leaving, walking away from a situation. You are ending old chapters. Like old chapters of your life, you're closing the door. You are healing and transforming yourself. You're willing to go within and really create changes within your life. And this full moon is asking you to focus on your health. This is where you might make some changes physically, mentally, and emotionally to your health, or your routine is going to shift and change after this full moon. Like you might not be going to the same places. You might not be doing the same things. Your whole routine changes, or you might also be looking to make changes at your work. This is where something can happen with a co-worker, and all of a sudden you decide, these are the changes I want to make within my work sphere of life so things are better for me without creating healthy boundaries. Or you might decide that you truly want to work in a different place. It's really good though to complete anything that you have been working on. Great for you to complete it at the time of this full moon. Libra, this is a powerful full moon for you where you can complete any creative projects that you've been working with. If you have any children, this is where you might be spending and focusing more attention on them as well, especially those with children. This is also a time where you can complete creative projects, or if you're in a romantic relationships and conflict can come up for you, where you might be like, oh, we need to discuss this. This is not working for me anymore. And this is about your romantic life, or you also might be questioning how much of fun you've been having in your life, how much of excitement, joy, and pleasure. If you haven't been, this full moon will ask you to release certain things from your life, to invoke pleasure, to invoke fun, to just go have an ice cream, do something fun within your life, connect to your inner child. This is about your pleasure. How much of pleasure have you been having in your life? And does your romantic relationship, if you're in one, bring you that pleasure? If not, you might be deciding like, oh no. But if it can, you would be also asked like, hey, let's go out on a date. Let's do something fun. But you're releasing what is keeping you stuck from embracing pleasure and fun within your life. Really good time for creative ideas. Really good time to complete creative projects. Scorpio, this full moon for you is powerful. You might want to spend some time at home, resting and rejuvenating. You'll want to declutter your home. You might be like, what do I need to get rid of? What's taking up space here? Great for moving home if you've been planning a move or thinking about a move, where you're like, oh, this place is just chaotic for me. I need to shift my focus and, move to a different place, and planning that out and seeing what is important there. This can also bring up feelings and connections to family members. So something might happen within your family, and all of a sudden you have to focus your energy and attention on your family. But it's a really good full moon for you to spend time at home, spend time in comfort, relax, rejuvenate. You might also be feeling very nostalgic and thinking about the past, especially childhood experiences. And you might be releasing maybe childhood experiences that were difficult and challenging for you. And this is helping you, because when you release that, you can form new beliefs within yourself and move forward in a more positive and a way that you can expand and grow. Sagittarius, this is a powerful full moon for you for completing anything that you've been writing. So it has to do with contracts, paperwork, to-do lists. All of a sudden, you're getting the things done that you need to get done. And this full moon is like you complete those things. At the time of this full moon, your mind will also be very active. Watch how you're thinking. Release unhealthy thoughts, especially negative thoughts that can be really making you feel stuck. That's not the time for that. You might also be feeling inclined to have a conversation with someone and express from your heart what you truly need to say and express. So this full moon has a lot to do with communication. It has a lot to do with getting things done, to-do lists. You might even be running a lot of errands at this time. This full moon too, if you've been learning anything, you know, reading a book, or you took a small course, you would complete it at this time, because it's all about learning your intellect, your intuition, and really a time. If there's anything in your heart that you need to express verbally to someone, please do so. Do watch how you express it, because sometimes during this full moon, things might get particularly heated, right? It's a super full moon, so we're supercharged with energy and everyone's emotional bodies activated. So people are feeling pretty sensitive. So if you want to say something, write it down before you express it to anyone. Capricorn, this is a powerful full moon for you, and it's focusing on your finances, money, and income. And you really need to look now at your money and how much money you have and how much you're earning. If you want to change jobs, do something different, apply for a job, now's the time to do so. Release those fears, release those doubts and insecurities, and apply for a job that's suited to you. Do your resume if you want to make those changes in order to boost your income, because this is highlighting your income, the money that you get. We also do have the Sun and Venus retrograde happening in your 8th house. And this is a lot to do with investments. Where are you investing your time and energy? Are you reaping the reward? Are you feeling like you're getting something out of what you are giving? Are you receiving that abundance? And because Venus is retrograding here, it's asking you to really rethink your investments. Where are you investing your time, your energy, your emotional energy as well? So during this full moon for you, you need to look at your budget. You might even be asked to re-budget. You'll be looking at where you spend your money. Is it worth your time and energy? This is where, like, all of a sudden, I don't want to subscribe to that anymore. I might cancel that subscription. It's costing me too much financially. So you're looking at what you value and how much money you can spend. This full moon, though, can give you a payout or payment received to you if you've been working really hard towards your finances. So if you've been working towards your finances and earning more, maybe you've been out there applying for jobs and you've been out there putting out your resume and applying for places to work, you can actually now get like, okay, come here. You receive the job, and this is how much you're earning. But anything to do that you can complete with your finances, this full moon can do that. If not, you're really truly reassessing your finances, what you're doing with your money. Are you getting the income that you want within your life? The Venus retrograde, though, will be really making you feel pretty challenged, especially with boundaries. And like I said, it is a time where secrets can come to light for you. Anything you've done that has been secretive, or anything anyone else has done that's been secretive, can come to light. And this full moon really pushes you in an emotional way, but also in a financial way. So you're looking at it, balancing your emotional energy and where you're investing your emotional energy, where you're investing your finances in order to give you the income that you truly deserve. But like I said, if you've been working on it, you can all of a sudden receive that income amount, that money that you truly wanted. If not, now's the time for you to release those fears, those doubts, those insecurities, what's keeping you stuck. Become inventive, believe in yourself, and push forward. Send out your resume, learn a skill to boost your income for you, Capricorn. Aquarius, during this full moon, it's happening in your sign. It's a super full moon. You are releasing and purging mentally, emotionally, and physically. You are setting up healthy boundaries within your connections. We have the Sun opposite you and this Venus retrograde opposite you. Boundaries, boundaries, boundaries is important. Relationships that are old, done, stale, you are letting them go. You are releasing them. You are feeling like you need a change. And this full moon is happening in your sign. So this means your emotional body about how you are truly feeling within yourself is like, I need a change. I got to put an end to this. And by making those changes and putting ends, especially to your associations, right? Because this is happening right opposite you. The 7th house is not only just romance, it's friendships, it's professional relationships that are taking too much from you. It's not only your professional relationships that are taking too much from you. Any one-on-one connections, even frenemies. You were setting those boundaries. You were like, This full moon is like, what do I need to change within my life? And it can feel deeply emotional. It can be very revealing and truthful to you. For you, I would say information would come to light. This full moon is in an air sign. You are an air sign. You could even get an epiphany. You need to trust your intuition. You need to truly listen to yourself and what you truly want. And when you make those changes, you can truly have the life that you want. But if you are surrounded by people you do not trust, if you're surrounded by people that you're investing your time and energy to, that you're not draining you, taking your energy, then how can you have the healthy, beautiful life that you want? You are living that life being drained off by other people and other connections and situations. This is a big emotional release for you. It's about you closing chapters. It's about you walking away. It's about you surrendering your deepest emotions. And through doing that, and you could even feel deeply emotional. This can feel quite heavy for you. It's a super full moon in your sign, deeply emotional, but you're purging mentally, emotionally, and physically. Please take care of your physical health, your mental health, your emotional health, and your spiritual health. Ground yourself, take deep breaths as you go through the super full moon and release what no longer is serving you so that you can align to the opportunities that are truly meant for you. Pisces, this is a full moon of you releasing and letting go. You're tired, right? You're tired, you're exhausted. You might not have been sleeping too well. You might even not be feeling too well. This full moon is like where you want to seclude, you want to rest, you want to rejuvenate, but you're definitely closing and walking away from old chapters, especially old chapters and situations, people, unhealthy habits that have been emotionally draining. If something has been on your mind and you've been processing something over and over again, this full moon is telling you, you've done all the processing. Now's the time to take a deep breath and walk away. Let it go. Close that chapter. Endings. This is a full moon. Full moons are completion points. There are also endings, and this is a super full moon. And it's also happening for you in a place of endings, releasing, letting go, feeling emotional. You might even shed some tears. Allow the tears to flow. Tears are healing and transformative. And you are really releasing, closing doors, endings, walking away from unhealthy people, unhealthy situations, people that have been taking too much of your energy and time. You were seeing the truth about connections that you've had. And through this truth about even situations, you're allowed to finally release, feel it, heal it, and move forward.